Okay, guys, we're back with episode 36, Doc and the Boxer. So before we start, everyone's heard about the tragic news that we lost marvelous Marvin Hagler over the weekend. I heard it was on Saturday night,
Yeah.
and
And
yeah, it was very shocking to hear that because we're getting into watching the fight card on Saturday and stuff, and then I'm seeing these messages and that, and like Marvin Hagler died. I'm like, wow, what? Unbelievable.
wow.
Only 66.
Yeah. And he was like such a larger than life figure. He was just like a man of steel. And I don't know, it's just pretty shocking.
And Doc, have you ever heard anyone say anything negative about the guy?
Never.
Never, right? He's one fighter that no one's ever, I mean, there's not other fighters, but no one ever said nothing about Hagler negative about him. Always
Yeah.
great things. Inducted into the Hall of Fame recent, and it was just sad. So in lieu of that, let's do the 10 count, and
Yeah, I gotta show respect, man.
we have the bell here. We're doing the
I
real
got
deal.
it right here, bro.
The real deal.
This sounds good too.
Oh, awesome, man.
There it is, man.
Was that 10, man?
That was 10. What a great fighter he was too. And a
He
tough
was, eh,
fight
Doc?
for that weight class.
Yeah.
Just chock full of guys.
And he's always been a middleweight. He's always stayed in that weight class throughout the beginning of his career and throughout the end of his career.
Yeah, that's something that seems way more rare these days, eh?
Very rare. Very
A
rare.
lot of guys seem to try to revive in a way their career by moving into a different weight class.
Yeah. Or they just get bigger and then they have to move to the next weight class and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's always stayed at the middleweight division. Brockton,
Amazing.
Massachusetts. That one thing about boxing, that some of the nicknames are just they all usually nicknames fit so well, like Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was a marvelous type of guy when he fought Iron Mike Tyson, like those type of
Iron Mike is a great moniker. That's really good.
That's a really good one. The Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep. Yeah, good. Money Mayweather.
Money, Pretty Boy first.
Pretty Boy. Yeah. Did you you probably have, you remember the 3-round monster fight with or 3 or 4 rounds with
Tommy Hearns.
Tommy Hearns.
But then that third round that fight was known as a war, and that was the title of it.
Yeah,
and third round was the best ever in boxing.
And Hearns wore like a cap like yours, but with the word war on it before the fight.
Hagler did.
Hagler did?
Yeah. Hagler wore the war hat. That red hat.
I gotta get a hat. We gotta get that hat. Where can we find that?
That'd be a dope hat, eh? That'd
red one.
In honor of him as well.
And he deserves it. He deserves all the respect too.
That's my thing. Like, it's sad when these fighters die early. Like, I mean, it's still after their career, but I mean, a couple like years after their career, like Hagler's only 6'6", and they don't get to enjoy the full extent of life and how much they sacrifice to be a boxer is unbelievable. What they do and to enjoy his life from there. He had his wife and everything, and it was just sad to see that.
Yeah, very sad to find out.
Yeah, and I heard about that like when I was watching that DAZN card and stuff.
It sucks.
So, should we move on from that? So basically, this is what Marvin Hagler's wife says. So the cause of death right now is natural cause, like that's what they're saying, natural causes. But There
Mm,
was there was rumors going around first initially that it was from the vaccine that he was administered and that he started feeling the ill effects from the vaccine.
really?
Tommy Hearns put that on his Instagram page and stuff, and they're like his wife and that they're not happy about him doing that. It was false that like there, and then his wife came out with this is before she's like I'm very sorry and sad to announce today, unfortunately, my beloved husband, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, passed away unexpectedly at his home here in New Hampshire. Our whole family requests that you respect our privacy during this difficult time. With love, Hagler became the undisputed middleweight champion in 1980. Um, yeah, like he was famously known for that 3 round knockout of Tommy Hearns.
Let me ask you something. You've watched the fight with Hagler Leonard,
I
right?
knew you were gonna ask that, and that's what everyone asks about that Hagler
I want to
fight.
hear your opinion though.
Bless Hagler's soul and everything. He honestly, I felt that Sugar Ray Leonard may have stole it because he started steal the rounds, and he sort of win those the last bit of the round, and um that leaves a last impression on the judges.
Yeah,
I felt it was he eked it out, and you have to give the guy credit too. He was gone away from the sport for 3 years, comes back to fight the best guy, the man, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
respect to him, Sugar
True.
Ray.
And he was Leonard was a master at the mind game as well. I read his autobiography and he talks about that fight too, how he knew it was a good idea to wait a little bit longer when he retired to come back rather than fight him right away. And it obviously worked. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he stole it as well.
Yeah.
But Hagler was pretty
Okay.
bitter about that decision.
He was done from boxing. He went
Yeah,
to Italy, became an actor over there in Italy, and he was done from with boxing.
yeah, yeah. What a way to end, eh? Like,
Yeah,
and
he
not
was
come back.
he was bitter about that.
Yeah,
But one thing about him is with his work ethic was crazy. Like this guy used to run like 10 miles a day and stuff. Crazy work
machine.
ethic,
Yeah,
machine.
yeah. They
Like
could have called him Machine Marvin Hagler as
damn man,
well.
like and his southpaw. Uh,
Southpaw, and he was bulked up. He had
yeah,
muscle, like,
yeah,
and I don't know. He must have been in
yeah,
crazy shape to carry that
yeah,
muscle, for that
yeah,
many rounds.
yeah.
Was that
He was
15 rounds? No, it was 12. It was
with the Leonard fight.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that was 12 rounds there.
yeah. It was
It went
12.
that's when it was back to the 12
Yeah,
rounds. Can you
yeah.
imagine they used to do 15 rounds? Holy wow.
When you watch the old Muhammad Ali footage, and
I
he's going
know.
15 rounds,
Yeah.
that was unbelievable
Yeah.
to still be able to fight. But when boxing
Unbelievable.
first started back in England, like in the
Mhm.
1800s, there was no limit to the number of rounds. It was like a
Right.
war of attrition.
Yeah,
There were
exactly.
no right.
There,
It was
there,
whoever gave up at the end.
until the mock of the Queensberry rules.
When they fought
Right?
like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sam
So,
Langford and those
that's
type of
right.
guys.
Look at you with your history knowledge
I
of
don't know
boxing.
a lot about the history, man. More than 93s and onwards. That's
Yeah,
really me. Yeah,
yeah. Well, I mean, that was the Hagler. That was the golden age of boxing
it was.
for
It
that
was.
division.
Yeah,
Guys fought the best back then.
yeah, yeah, they did. And I was gonna talk about like
Yeah,
because we're gonna definitely talk about the Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez and El Gallo Juan Francisco Estrada fight. Let's go into that, Doc.
let's do it, man.
So American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, more than 8 years after their first fight, which Chocolatito won super
Let me pull up.
flyweight Yeah, 12, yeah, decisions. Super flyweight Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, the WBA champion. He now falls to 15-3, 41 KOs, losing a split decision to Al Gallo, Juan Francisco Estrada, who now is 41-3, 28 KOs. Let's first talk about the scoring. So the scoring
Oh,
is Carlos Sucre, or however you pronounce his name. He's the one that scored at 117, 111. And now the WBA has said he's being suspended. He's being investigated, and he's got to explain how he came up with ludicrous scoring like 117, 111. You got to be kidding
oh,
me.
in such a fight like that,
Yeah.
I don't understand how he could have come up with that score. But what'd you
Yeah.
think of the fight? Let's break down
Yeah.
that.
And then
Because he,
just quickly the other scores then
yeah,
David
sure.
Sutherland 115, 113, and Jesse Reyes at 115, 113. So a split decision. My thought on Doc,
Yeah,
I was actually like saddened by the decision because I felt like he definitely Chocolatito definitely deserved it. He won the majority of the round. Don't get me wrong, a very closely contested fight like Juan Francisco and Estrada. You knew it was gonna be a fight like that, a game of inches. And I just felt he did not. And most observers say the same thing that Chocolatito won this fight. What's
yeah,
your
and
opinion?
yeah, I think he did win. I think it's harder. I think Chocolatito is the guy that's coming forward.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is easier to favor the guy that's coming forward, the
Mhm,
aggressor. But
mhm.
Estrada, he is fantastic
He
at
is.
moving back and throwing punches as he's
Yeah,
moving back as well. And I think that was part of his game plan.
yeah,
So yes, Chocolatito's coming forward, but when you got a guy that's moving back with it, part of the game plan is to counter as he's moving backwards. He's got to get some credit for that. But nobody talks a lot about that. They always talk about aggression, or
aggression.
that's the guy that's ring generalship. But there's a lot of ring generalship to moving backwards and countering off of moving backwards, right?
Yeah,
Off
totally.
your back foot.
I totally agree with you. And
Yeah.
one thing is that Dallas, Texas, like where this fight took place too, they're known to do bad decisions. It's known as a place in Texas where I mean, so you're saying that like he was moving back, Chocolate was coming forward, but he still won the fight. They gave him the fight.
Yeah.
But why though?
Yeah.
The aggression wasn't low.
But
Okay,
I gotta
so
tell you,
go ahead.
I was okay with either decision.
Either
I
way,
was I would have been okay with either way because it was such a great fight.
it
Hey, stop
was.
it. When's the last time, like crazy dogs? I gotta give them Ritalin or something. When have we seen a fight like that recently?
I know.
That was amazing.
It was
And
a
how many
treat.
punches were there?
Yeah, so the punches, so um one what 391 of 1317 was Gonzalez, and 314 of 1212 was
That's
Estrada.
that's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? How many punches
Yeah.
they beat their first fight. This was a record for the 115-pound weight class of most punches thrown in the history of the weight class.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That I'm not
super
surprised.
flyweight. It was a
Do
barn
you
burner.
think the announcers kept saying how much bigger Estrada looked compared to Chocolatito, but I don't know. I didn't notice that.
5'3" is Chocolatito anyway, so he's small. And eh,
Yeah.
um Al Gallo, like he's 5'4". I mean, not that much bigger, but the one thing he said about is his first fight with Gonzalez in I think it was 2010. 12.
12.
12. It was that long ago. He said he was, because I was at 108, right? And
Yes.
he was saying that he was affected by making the weight and stuff and whatever. And he felt more comfortable at the 115 weight class and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know how much that had a factor in this. Maybe did, maybe didn't.
Hard to
But
say.
the aggression, like you were saying, Doc, that they should score like fighting backward on the back leg, but boxing but they did though in this fight. Like my thing is this, what I really believe is that boxing is always gonna have these type of decisions, and it's
Yeah.
just always gonna be part of the sport.
Yeah.
They're looking at the third fight, that a third fight is going to generate a lot of interest again. It's the lightweight, small weight guys don't make that much money anyways, but having a trilogy fight like this, there's so many people on board to watch this fight after that fight. And right.
Yeah. That would be, I'm almost worried that would be almost anticlimactic in a way, just because there's such wars, their fights. The first fight was a war too.
They have to decide who won, who's the better of these two.
Yep.
They need to.
Yeah. But what these are two guys that are at the top of their game. I mean, they're fighting so beautifully. They really are exemplifying what this sport is truly about.
Mm-hmm.
How it's about this,
Mm-hmm.
and then making things happen based on this in the physical world. And I think they displayed that, and they did the sport so proud. I was just so amazed by this fight.
Yeah, I was too. I was really like what you were talking about, how the smarts and stuff, and Cal, like fighting smart, and this was a good tactical battle. Cal Yafai, who fought Roman Gonzalez, and they had I read a quick interview, I just caught it today, and it was lucky that I read that because I wanted to hear what he had to say about fighting Gonzalez, because Gonzalez resurrected himself and knocked him out in that fight. And he was just saying he's a really nice fighter. That he was thinking his pick was that he was that Roman was gonna win this fight by probably knockout. Whatever the case may be, like the fight.
I'll tell you, yeah, and I get that. The only reason why I went with, before the fight, my prediction was Estrada, just because of the three fights of Chocolatito, where where he lost, which was against Sor Rungvisai, whatever.
Yeah, Rungvisai.
Who knocked him out in the second fight.
Yeah.
Right?
They fought twice.
And so I thought he'd be a little bit shop worn. And then also Carlos, the Mexican dude.
Quadras.
Yeah, Quadras. And that may have been at 122. I'm not sure.
I don't.
He was, because Quadras was bigger than Chocolatito and gave him a tough time in that fight. And it went the full distance. That's why I was thinking maybe this guy's a little bit shop worn, but he didn't look shop worn at all.
Yeah, and he proved that in the Kaya fight that he's still a big threat, because he did some sick stuff in there and beat an undefeated fighter.
What do you think of his subtle footwork, Chocolatito?
I love it. I love everything about the guy. I love him so much that I got on this site and I'm gotta get this shirt. This shirt is real. I gotta rock. Like I always wear boxing shirts, man.
I know.
Gotta get the Chocolatito. Trinidad.
Oh, that's Trinidad.
Tito.
Yeah.
3 gold medal. I like when he said that. Remember when he's like 3 gold medal, 3 gold, because he beat David Reed, he beat De La Hoya, and he beat Pernell Whitaker.
That's right.
All gold medalists. 3 gold medal.
That's right. Although we can dispute the De La Hoya fight.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, big time. De La Hoya won that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
he almost, when I saw your shirt, if I didn't see the Puerto Rican flag,
Yeah.
he almost looks like Charlo, one of the Charlo brothers.
Oh yeah, he does too.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, it's not that good, man. But whatever.
Funny how we're not hearing about all these other guys, these other world champions fighting.
Like Charlo and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean,
What's happening?
they're in I mean, Benavidez fought.
Yes.
And Artur Beterbiev is fighting.
Yeah.
And we can talk about
we'll talk
those
about
ones.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. But anyways, like you know, with this fight, right? And you're talking about Carlos Quadras and stuff too.
Yeah.
So remember how I was like kind of referring a little bit about to they're called the Kings, the four Kings, Duran and Leonard and Hearns and Hagler. Those four, like the same thing, same kind of prototype with Rungvisai, Estrada, Gonzalez, and Carlos Quadras.
Yes.
Those four guys. And the thing is, right, Doc, with boxing, and we all know it, that styles make fights, right?
Yes.
And that like these guys are all different.
Yeah.
They've all fought each other. So this is how it all worked out with them. Rungvisai is 1-1. Estrada is 2-0. Oh no, sorry. Rungvisai is 1-1 with Estrada. Rungvisai. So he fought Estrada twice. He's 1-1. And Rungvisai is 2-0 versus Chocolatito.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's 0-1 against Carlos Quadras.
Yeah, that's so weird.
And then Gonzalez is 1-1.
Right.
With Estrada. And then
0-2.
And then 0-2 with Rungvisai.
Right.
And 1-0 against Quadras. He beat Quadras.
Yeah.
But he couldn't beat the tie.
That's
two
so
fights.
Weird.
Rungvisai.
But it just shows you, you're right. It's styled, it's how the boxer's feeling on that night.
Yeah. Quadras is the 1-2 with Estrada and the 1-1 against Gonzalez, but he's 1-0 with Rungvisai.
Yeah. Crazy, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, eh?
Yeah. That's a nice division, though.
I love it. They're the super flies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. They throw a lot of punches. This is what Estrada was saying, Doc, after the fight. He's like, I definitely want a third fight with Roman Gonzalez. I preferred over the Sor Rungvisai fight because Rungvisai is more complicated. And because he's a lefty, I truly want to fight Roman Gonzalez again. So that's what he's saying.
That's what a boxer says. Even though he won, he wants to fight him again.
He wants to fight him. Give him the fight again. Give him the rematch. Yeah. If because it's all about, and what they're saying here is what the fans want. Whatever the fans want, and the broadcast, whatever, then let's go with that.
I agree, and I think they should do it in 2021, fall of 2021. I really do, because there's momentum going now with this. They
gotta do it. They gotta do it. Yeah, this year they gotta do it soon. Like the next fight should be them two again.
I agree.
And the whole thing with the WBC mandatory for Estrada is Rungvisai. So like it's basically it's gonna be up to so this what Rungvisai was saying. Rungvisai was saying oh wait. Where is that? Okay, Rungvisai is like and Rungvisai fought the day before, right? On Friday, in Thailand. And he fought a guy that was now fallen Iquat Sangwa. He's 50-7-1. It was a third round stoppage, but the guy's 38 years old, and we knew it was gonna be Rungvisai just went out there. He's a built solid lefty. He just touched him. Boom, just like this, just going like this. Then he picked it up, bam, and throwing the shots, and he just stopped him whenever he wanted. 38-year-old.
Yeah.
Dog, I remember like fighting in Thailand, eh? I was there. Yeah.
Where in Thailand?
2000 Bangkok.
Okay.
At the 2003 Worlds. where the one fight that would pique your interest was a GGG versus your boy Lucien Bute.
What?
And GGG from Kazakhstan
Yeah,
versus Romania. And GGG
knocked him out, didn't he?
knocked him out bad, yeah.
I saw
Bad.
that fight. You can
Yeah.
still find that fight
You can,
online.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
When I fought there was at the Worlds, 2003 Worlds, and I beat Finland. No one's ever heard of Finland, anyways. And then I fought Thailand the next round. And the day when I fought, it was in the stadium. I forget the name of it, but it was all the Thai military in the whole stadium wearing their, their button up shirts and like sitting like this. I'm like, damn, man, this is gonna be how am I gonna win this? And you can't win there.
Did you go the distance?
Yeah,
Oh, it
it
was
was
amateur.
close. It was close. Yeah, it was amateur. It was a close
Yeah,
fight. And obviously they're gonna give it to the Thai
for
guy
sure.
in
For sure.
Bangkok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Um,
cool.
yeah. Just remembering because they have those little stools and they slide them out like that, and they're like sitting on the ground basically. I'm like, what is this? Give me the water. Let me get up, man.
You're so
Yeah,
low, you need your trainer to pull you up.
I know, man. Give him a hug and he gets you up. Rungvisai said this and he
Yeah.
tweeted this. Rungvisai is like, give me Rungvisai versus Strada 3 because they're 1-1.
Hmm.
And then he's like, then I'll
Yeah.
give you Rungvisai versus Chocolatito 3. So
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a case to be made for that.
For sure, because he's saying that he's done everything.
Yeah.
He's allowed whatever. He's allowed this, but at the end of the day, it's the money that talks and
Yeah.
things like that. There's something called step aside money. He's already been given it before. I was reading. So hey, Rungvisai, take this money and just go away for let us
Right.
fight. Let these
Yeah.
guys fight, and then we'll holler at you
Fight the winner.
after. And
Yeah.
that's like money that you don't even have to train and go through. If he wants that, but if he's a champion, he wants to be like he wants the top guy always. I don't want no step aside money. I want to beat the top guy.
True.
Take the money, man.
I agree. His fights are usually wars as well, and he does get hit. He still takes a shot, man.
Yeah,
so he's
definitely.
getting hit a fair amount.
Lefty, like little short lefty, he's strong as hell.
He's tough. Yeah, he's the Thai fighters, whether it's Muay Thai or boxing, they're just tough.
The little guys, yeah, they're really tough.
Yeah. But he has a point. The only problem is this fight, this Estrada fight was so good. And because there's a little controversy with the judging, and there's momentum, that's going to be the next fight. That's most likely going to be the next fight.
Yeah, I think so.
And Rungvisai is going to have to wait.
Yeah, you can just step aside, fight another Thai, a Thai box turned boxer because there's so many of those in Thailand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to find a fight for him.
I fought a guy in the 2000 Olympics, Doc, in the second round, from Thailand, Legion Ponlad. And anyways, he beat me 11-7, but my fight with him was the closest fight in the tournament that he had. And he ended up winning the gold medal, like easily winning by big scores, margins.
Did he turn pro?
No, because he was one of those little cute amateur boxers, like boom boom, and they get out moving around, boom 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 boom, like that. Like he don't want to stand there and fight.
Right, gotcha.
He won the gold medal. It's not like Thailand wins so many gold medals, right? So the king of Thailand gave him like all this jewelry, gave him an elephant. I guess like elephants are really gave him a job in the police force.
Wow.
So they take care of you in countries like that when you win
not
Olympic
like Canada,
medal.
huh?
Not like Canada.
Damn.
Yeah. We gotta do
That's
something.
incredible.
Yeah. So anyways, should we
How
should
did
we
you how did you like fighting these Thai guys? Like, did you go in thinking, oh man, these guys are tough. This is gonna be tough.
No, not really. Yeah, I mean, no, that's not true. Like they're well known. Thailand's in the smaller weight classes in the
Yeah.
amateurs are known to be some of the top. They had like this guy Samla Kamlan Singh. I think he won 2 Olympic golds or something. So they're good fighters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You knowing you're gonna fight a Thai fighter,
Hmm.
before the fight, we're like, oh, this is gonna be tough.
Definitely, you know it's gonna be tough, and you
Yeah,
just gotta prepare yourself, right?
yeah,
You
yeah, for
can't be,
sure.
oh, this is gonna be, man, he's just a normal guy.
Yeah,
But
better to take it, to have the mindset that you know it's gonna be a war, and then just prepare yourself for a
yeah,
war.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, yeah. Um, so anyway, so this was so Rungvisai is saying all that on Twitter, that now it's I did everything you said. Now it's time for us to get the fight on. Anyways, um,
Yeah, but he knows the score. He's been in the game long enough to know that money's going to drive the fight.
yeah, money, and ultimately it's this what Ed Hearn says is the fans, the broadcasters, the fan ultimately the fans and the broadcasters normally decide who is gonna fight, who they want to fight. So
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be a huge demand for this rematch.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. And Gonzalez is saying this. It's like it was a better fight than the first one. I felt strong. I felt I won. In the last round, I gave it all. I gave it all. It was a great round. The result is what God wanted, and I'm happy because I'm going back to my family and going home. And he's always like a man of God, and like he's
Mm-hmm.
very respectful and humble. Even I mean, that was the night of the fight, like the post fight
Yeah,
interview. So he's gonna be like that. But then when he goes home, he's gonna be thinking about it. Like they ripped me off, man. you know, and that's what he was saying after. It's like honestly, I thought it was going to be a draw because it was such a close fight. Oh no, this is what Estrada said. It's like honestly, I thought it was going to be a draw because it was such a close fight. I don't know what the judges thought about the fight, but we were able to win. We knew it was going to be a war, and Gonzalez deserves a rematch. And
yeah,
then Gonzalez says that after the fight, I feel sad because not only did they rob me of the fight, they robbed Nicaragua as well. Chocolatito said, I prepared myself conscientiously for this fight. It was a sacrifice for months. That was a big word by him, eh?
yeah. We probably said it in Spanish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was not close. I was not home. I was not close to my family. I was deprived from many things. I did all that for this fight to end like this. I think a lot of the judges in boxing they have lost their honesty.
He said that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Because
He's usually very quiet about and very
mhm,
humble after a fight.
yeah,
But I guess he felt it, and you know, I think you should also, he's also fighting in Dallas. It was Dallas, right?
yeah, yeah. Dallas.
And large Mexican population.
Mhm.
There was you could hear the audience in this fight, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that
Dallas has
influence.
allowed more fans and stuff,
Yeah,
and that's why they're having them more over in
Texas
Dallas.
is more. Yeah, Texas is one of the states that's fairly open right now as far as COVID goes. So
Is
there was
it?
a crowd there, and they're
Yeah,
pro-Mexican, the crowd,
yeah,
and that sometimes influences the judges as well, right?
for sure, for sure.
But it was really entertaining.
It was
That was a
great.
great
It's
fight.
fantastic.
Yes.
I was like on the edge of my seat the whole fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Amazing.
sir. Because usually at that time I'm going to sleep, man. I can't stay up that late.
Well, you're an old man now, right?
Yeah, yes, man. I am.
You're eating dinner at 4:30 now.
Dinner. I'm going to sleep by like 8:39. like 9 o'clock, 9:30,
Dude,
about that.
you know what? My wife and I will, after dinner, we'll watch TV. We'll kind of fall asleep on the couch. We'll wake up. She'll go, "Hey, maybe we should go to bed now. What time is it?" And I go, 7 o'clock. We're like, what?
Oh my God.
Happens almost every night.
Yeah. So you know the purse for this fight, eh? What I heard, I was trying to look
Yeah.
for it, but what I heard was that it was 1 million apiece, and you're gonna that's not a lot, right? For
That's it.
this caliber fight, for
Oh,
these
come on.
the smaller guys don't make that much money.
Wow,
I
man.
I think I'm pretty sure what I read was the first fight with Estrada and Roman. They only made 250,000, and that's why Eddie Hearn was saying, well, he's going to be happy Estrada because he's making 10 times more than he made the last time they fought.
But he made, I believe when he fought in Macau, China, I think he fought, was it Chris John?
I think he fought that did he fight in Macau, China?
Yeah, it was on the undercard of the Pacquiao fight.
I think it was that on not something. I can't remember.
And I believe he made a lot of money for that fight. I don't know how much, but I believe he did quite well in that fight. I mean, he's been fighting for a while already. Like he's only 30.
He's only 30.
Yeah.
Well, all those fights, the Mexicans have so many fights.
Oh man. But he's a special fighter, Estrada. I liked him the very first time I saw him fight.
For sure.
And he's very cool and calm and collected, even under pressure.
Yeah.
Right? He just looked good. He looked great.
And that's what I was saying when we started talking about this fight. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I'm not jumping on Estrada or anything. Estrada is sick. He's a great fighter. That fight was close. I just felt Chocolatito, that's what what's the name on the DAZN, Sergio Mora. Chocolatito. That's what he kept saying, like, because he's Spanish too, eh? Chocolatito. Chocolate. But that's really good. That's what Chocolatito likes to do. Chocolatito.
He's a good commentator though, Mora. He's really good. I like him.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I wouldn't say he's really good. He's good with the rest of the zone. That Chris Mannix and they're not. I'm not too thrilled with them.
No, all right.
I love the ESPN one, man, with Andre Ward, Timothy Bradley, Mark Kriegel, Joe Tessitore. That's sick.
Yeah, they're very knowledgeable guys. Haven't seen Paulie Malignaggi in any. He used to do Showtime, but you'd think he'd get picked up by somebody else.
Doc, he's gone because he said something that, you know how it is nowadays. You can't say anything that's politically incorrect for you to say. He said something. I forget exactly what it was. But it ruffled feathers, and he ended up getting like pretty much fired from that.
Really?
Yeah, and he was great. He's
the best. He's
so knowledgeable. One of the best.
Yeah, and he's such a good talker. He always has been.
Yeah.
That his mind, like he thinks quickly. So he's very bright. I really want to see him back commentating because he's my favorite.
Yeah, he is. He has a boxing mind. Like he's a pure boxing mind. Like look, he was a good fighter. Not great, he was a good fighter, really good. He beat some good fighters. He was top.
I just rewatched his fight against Cotto. And
I remember that one.
Yeah,
that was like in 2000. Yeah,
I can't remember the date, but he got a bad cut.
2006, 7 or something like that.
Something like that. And he, Cotto won clearly, but he gave Cotto a little run for the money.
He showed in that fight his toughness. Because it looked like Cotto was just running through him and stuff, but he just showed he was tough and he's young in there.
and he got a broken jaw, and his face was just all
Yeah,
puffed
it
out.
was all
He had a
puffed
hematoma.
out.
Yeah,
Oh man, what a
but
pain in the broken jaw.
uh,
Like Oscar Valdez when he fought Quig, and he had that
yeah,
broken jaw,
yeah,
and he still
these are
won. Damn.
tough guys, man.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, Doc, you want to go into the next
Yeah, yeah,
bit of news? And so basically the Tyson Fury ending because we hear about it a lot,
yeah.
but it's done. Like I don't know if the pen has come on the paper, but it's everything has been agreed upon except for the big thing, and that's going to be the venue, like
Okay.
where it's going to be. Um, but there's talk that uh, it's the fight will happen in July, June or first half of July. There's several sites that are being thought of right now, like in the Middle East. Several sites in the Middle East are
Wow.
being under consideration. So
Wow.
basically the purse split is going to go 50-50 because that's always
Okay.
a conflicting thing, and
Yeah,
that's good that they figured that
it's
out,
reasonable. Yeah,
and it should be. And then the winner, because it's two fights, it's on a
two
two
fight.
fight
Right.
deal, right?
Yeah,
Which is great.
I
So
love.
yeah, that's amazing. Let's
Yeah,
see these top heavyweights go at it, man. These guys haven't fought in a while. Like Fury hasn't fought since 2020, February 22nd, when he stopped Deontay Wilder.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Wilder came with all those excuses. Eh?
That
Man,
was brutal, man.
I hate when fighters
That was
do
brutal.
that. Make
He should have just
excuses.
be humble about it.
Yeah,
Take the loss. That's
yeah.
it. Really, because he didn't
At,
look good in that fight, no matter what.
at all. At
No,
all.
no,
It
he was
was terrible.
exposed. Yeah.
And he blamed it on his cornerman, Mark Breland. What an insult.
I think that's so insulting. The guy takes you to the championship, the top, and then when you lose, you throw him to the curb.
Throw him underneath the
That's
bus,
not
yeah.
cool.
And he's one of the great fighters in boxing, and
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
best amateurs ever.
yeah. I like Mark Breland. So he,
WBH.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
skinny, long arms.
yeah. And then Joshua hasn't fought since 2020 when he December when he knocked out Kura Pulev.
Right, right. Yeah. This is. I'm looking forward to this fight. And hopefully two fights, but I'm looking forward to this fight.
We need some clarification in the heavyweight division, like who's the top guy. It's either Fury and Joshua. Who's the top? I feel it's Fury. I think Fury will win. But look, we can't. Joshua's a great fighter. Like he's an Olympic gold medalist. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, mind you, the Olympics that year were in London, England. So, you're gonna get more medals
Yeah.
generally. But anyways,
Calls. Yeah.
regardless, he's a great fighter. He was
Yeah.
undefeated until he lost to Ruiz, and avenge that loss. And let's see who will win of these two. One thing is going on with this fight a little bit is that like is Fury, because Javon Sugar Hill is his coach, but I was reading something that he sent Javon Hill back in like November back home. So there's been talk that Fury has not even really been training that much, and
Oh,
Joshua is going to be ready.
absolutely. Especially because Joshua's got a loss on his record. Fury doesn't. Joshua wants to not just win, right, the title, but he wants to make sure he gets rid of Fury's O.
And these are bragging rights in your country, man. This is
Oh,
like you
dude, this
can't.
is a big fight.
This is
This is
huge,
huge,
huge.
huge.
Yeah.
Man, England, all of England's going to be watching this fight. Even if they're not boxing fans, they're going to
Oh,
watch.
100%. It'll be the biggest.
Bigger than Groves Froch.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Bigger than Klitschko, Joshua. This
Yeah.
is going to be the biggest fight.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is huge.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something to look forward to in July.
Yeah. Those are not much. It's near the end. The year's ending around then. Well, summer. Anyways, dog. So and then
Yeah.
the other fight on so I like watched that one and I'm surprised that I'm gonna watch a replay on TV on Showtime. The replay of in Unkinsville, Connecticut, David, this is your boy, Albendero Roja, Benavidez, who's now 24-0, 21 knockouts from Phoenix, Arizona. TKO in the 11th, Ronald Akeem Ellis, who now falls to 18-2 and 12 KOs. What did you get? Yeah, you probably
I didn't catch
this.
a fight.
What?
I didn't catch. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Okay, but anyways, it was a good performance by
Good.
Benavidez. Benavidez is only 24. You got to remember that too. 6 foot,
Yeah.
6.5, whatever. In before the stoppage in the 11th, he was up 99, 91, 98, 92 two times. So he
Nice.
landed 289 of 532 power punches thrown for a connect rate of 54%. That's massive.
That's huge, especially at 168, where they don't usually throw that many punches.
Right, right, exactly. He's crazy busy amount of punches he throws. He connected on 50 punches in the 11th round before the stoppage.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's got speed too, right?
Yeah, he's very fast. Boom, 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 and power, speed and power. One thing, dog, I know you like him a lot, and I do too. I think what he's done now, he's taken himself to Big Bear, Big Bear, and training there
training at altitude.
Yeah, in the high altitude, and he attributes this result to that. He's like Benavidez attributes his result to his newfound dedication training in Big Bear, which he does for like 12 weeks, 12-week training camp. So this is really good. This is what he needs to be focused and committed on boxing, because potential is there, but when a champion doesn't work that hard, it's gonna be done. Or a good fighter, they gotta have the work ethic.
We saw that with the second fight with Ruiz and Joshua.
Yeah,
he didn't work hard, and it showed up in the fight.
Yeah. It happened with Buster Douglas when he fought Tyson, but then he's like, "Oh, I've got all these millions now."
Yeah, and then he loses.
It feels good sleeping in satin sheets. Hagler always said that. It's hard when you're sleeping in satin sheets.
Feels too good.
Yeah. One. Did you know this about David Benavidez? That in 2017 he had back-to-back fights with Ronald Gavril, who's a Romanian. So obviously he's from Romania. He's got extensive amateur background. And the first fight was a split decision, and it was 116, 111, 117, 111 for Benavidez, and then 111, 116 for Gavril. And that was for the WBC belt. That fight. And he got dropped in the 12th round, Benavidez.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we can't make anything of it, because I think this will determine that. And that's when they had the rematch, and then they fought 4 months after. And and Benavidez won easily 120, 108, 120, 108, 119, 119, 109. So you can't really put much to that.
And he was also 20 years old back in
right, because that's right.
So he's gotten stronger probably as well. He's trained by his dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he is.
Pretty cool, calm customer.
Yeah.
I saw something today.
Yeah.
There's a video on YouTube of Teofimo Lopez sparring with Benavidez, a guy that was an amateur at the time, one of Benavidez in his stable, and he
Yeah.
dropped Lopez.
Oh
And
yeah.
apparently they sparred again, and he dropped him again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check it
I
out if you can find it.
I gotta check that out, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird.
What
This
do
guy was
you
an amateur.
what do you make of sparring and a fight? I feel, to me, I feel there's some similarities between a fight but it's not the same. A fight and sparring. I mean, in sparring, like, you got the headgear on, the gloves. You can get a little bit lax about defense. Let
So
me.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. And it's just very different too. You know, you got a guy coming in that's got absolutely nothing to lose, sparring with the champ, let's say.
yeah,
And the champ is there. He's really there because he's training. He's not trying
yeah.
to beat up the other guy, but he's trying to train, right?
Right, right.
And where the other guy's got like, I just got to beat this guy up if I can. He's
Yeah.
the champ. I don't have anything to lose.
Yeah,
Plus, remember, it's the champ's team that is paying that guy as well.
yeah,
So it's not a true testament to say, oh,
Yeah.
that guy's better than the champ.
Yeah.
You can't, not with sparring. And what are
I
they
s-
using, 16-ounce gloves as well?
yeah, for sure. Sometimes the good fighters use like 18 ounce, the 18-ounce winning glove
Yeah.
stuff.
So, and they don't mention that. So I don't know if they had different
Yeah.
glove sizes. So
Yeah.
who knows, really? But I wouldn't take it too seriously. But it was interesting.
Exactly. Like, there was one sparring session, Doc, I saw. It was Mayweather and Paul Spadafora. And it was, you passed, Spadafora was a great fighter, wasn't he? Southpaw. He was so slick.
Yeah.
In this sparring session, he schooled Mayweather.
I've seen that video too.
But I guess Mayweather wasn't in shape. That's what
he wasn't.
He wasn't in shape.
No.
Yeah.
That was all over the comment section, I think, in that, that video.
Because you can see at the end of the sparring, then he just laid on the canvas and stuff, and
yeah, that inspired that's not Mayweather when he was like weeks out of the fight.
The crazy work ethic that he had.
Gotta give him that. No matter what you think of him, you gotta give him that.
100%.
Hard work, dedication.
Yeah. I recant on the stuff that I was telling you about, talking about in regards to Mayweather. And like, well, we fought these. No, Mayweather, honestly, Mayweather was sick. I even like watched old footage of his and old fights, and I'm like, damn, like I'm always amazed at what he does.
You know, I know Canelo was young when he fought Mayweather, but just watch that fight. Like, Mayweather was like artistic in that fight. Yeah. He was so good. It was incredible. So he's one of the top guys of all time.
That was a perfect opponent, perfect style of fighter for him to look the best out of the best that he's beaten anybody. It
Absolutely.
Was probably that fight.
I think so too. And I remember I showed my boy.
Yeah.
I had him sit down with me. This is a couple years ago and watch that fight.
Yeah.
And my son was just amazed by how good Mayweather was in that fight.
Pretty good.
One of my favorite fights with Mayweather's. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Doc, we're near the end. Like we always are. We always do it fast. Right? Time goes by fast when we're talking about boxing.
Always, man. Always. Yeah.
I gotta come to your office, Doc, and see you about my calf injury. But anyways, were you gonna say something?
No, there was something else on the dot that I was thinking about, but it'll come to me next time. We'll talk about it next time.
Okay. Okay.
But what do we got coming up as far as fights?
So there's a fight this weekend, and that's Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Maurice Mighty Hooker, and these are both these are both Dallas crosstown rivals, and this fight's going to be in Dallas. It's going to be another great fight because Ortiz is undefeated with all knockouts.
I like Ortiz too, man. That's
Yeah,
going to be a fight to
Ortiz
watch.
is 16-0, 16 knockouts.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Maurice Hooker is 27-1-3, 19 knockouts.
This could be a good fight. Devin Haney. Who did he sign to fight? That happened just recently.
And he's getting paid. He's getting like $3 million for this fight.
Who is it again? Do you remember?
Linares.
Yes.
Linares, your boy. You like Linares.
I like Linares, but
yeah.
Man, Devin Haney hasn't been in as many wars, right, as Linares has. I'm telling you, he's just got to cut up Linares if he can.
I think
right. But I think that's a really nice matchup. I like that.
Yeah, I think Haney's catching him at the right time.
I think so. Coming off the loss he hasn't fought, I think, since he fought Lomachenko, Linares.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So I like that matchup too. That's something to look forward to as well. And if he wins Haney, that puts him right in the mix in that division.
It does, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel he's the weak out of the top guys, Lopez.
Yeah.
He's a weak one out of those, Gervonta. But it remains to be seen. Let's see these guys fight each other. That's the thing. Let's see these guys fight each other. We need to see it. Go on. We'll talk next one because we haven't even mentioned Gervonta Davis, and there's a talk about him moving up. There's talk about a fight with Mario Barrios Barrios. He's a 140 champion. He's gonna move up to 140. Gervonta. That's a talk right now.
Well, I think he can. We'll see. My opinion, just off the bat, is he'll carry his power into that weight class. I believe he will.
I think he's too small. He's too short for that. Too small for that weight class.
That's going to be interesting if he does go up. I hope he doesn't stay there if he goes up. Because I think there's better fights for him at 135.
Yeah, come down here at 135. These guys are here. Lopez, Ryan, Garcia. These guys are here. Let's see those fights.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we want to see.
Okay, Doc. All right, we're done. So if you guys have any comments or anything you want to say, any questions or whatever, just hit us up at docandtheboxer@gmail.com, and that's all lowercase. And then we out.
We're out. Right. Good one, Doc. Bud.
All right. We'll talk. All right, let me get off this quick, man. Damn.